All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to City Council Committee of the Whole meeting for Wednesday, August 21st. We'll first start with a moment of silence to have people think about whatever it is they want to think about. Thank you. If you'd all please rise and join Alderman Reinhardt in leading us all in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Krupp, please call the roll tonight.
Ardud.
Here.
Kelly.
Here.
McGinnis.
Here.
Reinhardt.
Here.
Grip.
Here.
Newton. Lynch.
Here.
T-Dunn.
Here.
Jobson.
Here.
And Burkholder.
Here.
9 present, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. So again, good evening and welcome everyone as we begin the meeting of the City Council Committee of the Whole. I'd like to welcome everybody in attendance and anybody who's viewing through any particular electronic device. We respectfully welcome your opinions and comments, but ask that as you share your thoughts, you're sharing them with your fellow Davenporters and with viewers throughout the region. So please keep that in mind. We're happy you're participating in your city government, but as to your participation, please reflect the common desire we all share to make Davenport a better place. For folks in here, just a reminder, if you'd be kind enough to put your cell phone on silent or turn it off, simply doesn't get in the way of someone talking. If you want to address the council on any of the specific items, please come to the podium. The microphone's above you. Love to know your name, order, address, and if you're not from here, we'd love to know where you're from. Please address the council as a body and not to any one individual. We'll be respectful of you. Please try and be respectful of us. Thank you very much. Ms. Gleason, is there an update tonight?
Nothing this evening, Your Honor.
Very good. We have two public hearings this evening, both under community development. So Alderman Grip and Alderman Reinhardt will discuss. Alderman Grip, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. I open the public hearing on the proposed conveyance of vacated West 5th Street between Cedar Street and Howell Street to Davenport Community School District. Is there anyone from the public here to comment on this item? Seeing no one, I move to close the public hearing. There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? This public hearing has been closed. I open the public hearing for case REZ 24-03, being the request of Davenport Community School District to rezone approximately 12.71 acres of land located at 715 through 909 East 36th Street from R3 Single Family and 2 Family Residential District to SIC Institutional Campus District. Is there anyone from the public here to comment on this public hearing? Seeing no one, I move to close the public hearing.
Second?
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? This public hearing has been closed. Back to you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Alderman Grip. Next is petitions and communications. I just want to say two things. Great job to everybody involved with alternating currents and the respective activities this last weekend. Thousands and thousands of people and all the different venues, both here, the majority were over here, but some across the river, so quite the community event. And then pretty cool now that the river's back down to see our cruise ships docking again, a huge Viking ship all day down on Heritage Park. So thank you for all of that. And I see anyone else? No, okay. Alderman Jobson.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. Just FYI on the item above this, above petitions and communications. So we got to get things squared away for our agenda. Point you to the agenda. There was something on our presentation before this. Oh, okay. Either way. Sorry. But either way, getting that out of the way. Reminder to myself as well as everyone else in the community. School start up at the end of this week. I know son over at Assumption High School tomorrow, and then I think the rest of the schools in Davenport. And so please be mindful when you're out on the roads, as kids are traveling to and from, families. Make sure you're slowing down in school zones, being attentive behind the wheel, and if it takes you an extra 30 seconds to get wherever you're going because you do that, good. I'd rather be that than, I saw a tragic event over in Bettendorf last week, and we don't want anything to happen to that. And so hopefully all our kids can have a wonderful start to the school year. So that's it.
Thank you. Alderman Kelly.
Thank you. It is coming around again for me. I will be having a block party at 311 East Locust Street. It's called Unity in the Community. I did it last year, and I told myself I was going to do it every year while I'm in office. So it'll be, you would think I would know it. September 14th at 311 East 11th Street. So it's in between Divine Creations Barbershop and Jack's on Locust Street. So that alley that blocks from the church to Locust Street, you'll see all the food trucks and vendors. So anyone is welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Alderwoman McGinnis.
Thank you, Your Honor. A couple of things. So I guess it's going to be a busy weekend for Alderman Kelly and for me. The Gold Coast Home Tour is September 14th and 15th from 12 noon to 4 p.m. This is a event that takes place every 2 years. There'll be 5 houses open. Robbie Wolf's Mantiques Petrolinia thing with the old Carl Cleve is going to be opening, as well as the new Project Renewal house. But I hope you can join us. We always look for volunteers in the neighborhood, and you can get in touch with me, and I'll pass you on to the coordinator. But again, it's the Gold Coast Home Tour, September 14th and 15th, 12 noon to 4 p.m. I also wanted to thank the folks up on Thornwood, Terry Logan especially. She set up a block party, a third ward block party there for her street. This is the second one that they've done, second annual. It was really nice to see everybody again and to see people together. Just a reminder to folks in third ward, I really like helping to offset the costs of block parties. I encourage neighborhoods to look into this and do this, and I'm happy to help contribute to helping to bring people together with Alderman funds. So just let me know. Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Thank you. Alderman Grip.
Thank you, Your Honor. I just also wanted to speak out about alternating currents and congratulate the Downtown Partnership and all the folks who worked so hard to put that event on with really high expectations. It exceeded those expectations. I spent all of Saturday evening there just wandering the downtown, having an awesome time with a lot of people, all totally free. And then Sunday I was able to take my family down, and they really enjoyed it as well. And then we had some friends in from out of state, and we took them downtown, and the comment was, man, Davenport has come a long way since the last time I was here. And so that's really important, right? The city is full of problems ready to be solved. But when you solve one problem, another problem will come up. And so you can get caught in this mentality of solving problems and looking at the problems. But from time to time, you got to look at the progress you've made. And without question, in the last 20 years, the city of Davenport has made a lot of progress. And alternating currents weekend, VIX weekend, those weekends where our city is really spotlighted as an opportunity to really celebrate the victories and improvement. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Very good. Okay, next is recognition. I'm honored every now and then, citizens, staff, people just going about their business, doing their job, notices something that's of concern. And in some cases, it's such a concern that it could injure someone or terribly maybe even cause the loss of life. So on July 5th, 2 wonderful staff members from the Civil Rights Commission, Stephanie Musser and Itzo Rivera, were just going about their business, doing their jobs. And Stephanie comes out and notices a person in the lobby struggling, and then identified that this person was choking. Through the quick action of herself, the quick response, she immediately started the Heimlich maneuver, thus saving a life. And then Itzo Rivera came out, called for help, got the medical response that was needed, and again, probably because of the actions, almost certainly because of the actions of these 2 wonderful individuals and their quick thinking, saved a life. So tonight, and I'd be happy to have Director Lacey and the recognized individuals meet me for just a token of our thanks that you took it upon yourself. And I'll read the little certificate we're going to give. And I know one isn't here, and we'll make sure the certificate gets to them. But the city of Davenport is honored to recognize Stephanie Musser and Itzel Rivera, for your display of dedication and courage during an emergency situation which resulted in saving a life. Signed this 21st day of August 2024, and honored to meet you at the podium. And Director, please help.
A few words, I guess. Thank you, everybody, for this recognition. My name is Itzel Rivera, as you guys know, and I just sprang into action like Stephanie because, you know, there's a life in front of us, and I think it definitely calls attention to just kind of knowing procedures and knowing what processes to take in that situation. It was very scary. It was very traumatic for the most part, coming back into the office and being in that space. So it kind of comes into bigger attention to just being or having staff prepared at all times, maybe having a little bit more trainings. I know speaking to the council, I just want to take this opportunity and say that, you know, we might have been better prepared for that emergency if we were to have more trainings available to us, if we would have CPR trainings, any type of trainings, honestly, because these situations can happen in just an instant, as we could see, and it was very scary to know that somebody could have died in front of me and I wouldn't have known what to do, or I would have been liable for it too. So just a thought to think about. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your quick action. Okay, next we'll go to our items of discussion: community development, public safety, public works, and finance. The first one is community development. Alderman Grip and Alderman Reinhardt will discuss. Alderman Grip, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Item number 1 is a first consideration ordinance for case REZ 24-03, being the request of Davenport Community School District to rezone approximately 12.71 acres of land located at 715 through 909 East 36th Street from R3 Single Family and 2 Family Residential District to SIC Institutional Campus District. Is there anyone from the public who's here to comment on this item? Any comments from the council? Seeing none, I would just comment that this is the bus lot on East 36th Street. The neighborhood meeting was held. There has not been any public response to this. I don't think anybody showed up to the neighborhood meeting. The city has not received any letters or communication. It's pretty low threat. There's the back portion of the land is, I think it butts up against the creek. So in my opinion, and I don't typically encourage this with rezoning, I would recommend that we pass this on the second consideration unless people show up, but I think it's pretty low threat, and then that would give the school district the ability to start building the building that they need to, and they can't do that until we approve it. So just throwing that out there, and I would do that, the committee of the whole second cycle, unless there's any objections to it. So, all right, moving on to item number 2, which is a resolution approving case F24-08, being the request of Iowa 12 Davenport LLC for a final plat of Silver Star Wash, a 1-lot subdivision on 0.9 acres located at 1914 Division Street. Is there anyone from the public who's here to comment on this item? Please state your name and address or ward, please.
Gary Eklund, I live in Davenport, and I want to oppose this. This is a troubling piece of development to me. I all in favor of people making an honest living, but this is up by 5 points, where approximately 5 or 6 or 7 houses were torn down to make a car wash. And it seems to be extraordinarily bad city planning. There was a resolution a while back, came up for several weeks about vacating an alley and giving half of the alley to these people and half the alley to people next door who had been a previous business that had been there for a long time. And one of the women in the audience mentioned, and I went by and checked, prior to your approving the alley being given to these people, the alley had already been taken over and built on. And I don't know whether city staff gave them permission to do that, or whether they just assumed that the city council would automatically go along with city staff. But to me, it seems kind of criminal on somebody's part, to, if I live next door to the mayor and I thought, of course, he's gonna give me 5 feet of his yard, and I'll just build my shed on his 5 feet of his yard, and he'll say okay to that, because how would he say no after I've already done it? I just find it really troubling. I find it troubling that the city allowed them. I don't know whether you have to ask permission to tear down a bunch of residential houses to put a business in, but I find it troubling that the city seems to be involved with demolishing houses. And like I said, I just want to say, I don't understand why they were permitted, and I don't know whether they're at fault or whether city staff is at fault. But prior to the city council voting to authorize giving this alley away, it was already built upon. And I know I've got parts of my yard that have been violently taken over by criminals, and I can't get rid of them. You shouldn't be taking over other people's property if you don't have a legal right to do so. And if it's city staff's fault, then city staff should be held accountable.
Is there anyone else here to comment on this item? Seeing no one, we'll go to council with comments. Seeing none, this item will move on. Item number 3 is a resolution authorizing the conveyance of vacated West 5th Street between Cedar Street and Howe Street to Davenport Community School District petitioner. Is there anyone from the public here to comment on this item? Anyone from the council? Seeing no one, this item will move on. Alderman Reiners, will you please set our agenda?
Thank you. I make a motion to move items 1, 2, and 3 to the consent agenda.
Second?
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Our agenda has been set. Back to you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Alderman Grip and Alderman Reinhardt. Next area is public safety. Alderman Jobson and Alderman Tim Dunn will discuss. Alderman Jobson, please.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. First item on the public safety agenda is a third consideration ordinance amending Schedule 13, 7-ton weight limit of Chapter 10.96 entitled Schedules of the Municipal Code of Davenport, Iowa by adding 5th Street from Western Avenue to Gaines Street thereto. Is there anyone from the public wishing to comment on this item? Anyone from council? Seeing none, that item will move on. Item number 2, resolution approving street, lane, and public ground closure requests on the listed dates and times for outdoor events. I'll read each of these before asking for comment. First, City of Davenport, Red, White, and Boom Riverfront, 2 p.m. to 10:30 p.m., Saturday, September 7th, 2024. Closure beginning at 2 p.m. Ripley Street and Marquette Street, south of River Drive, beginning at approximately 8 p.m. Myrtle Street, Warren Street, Brown Street, Western Avenue, Scott Street, Ripley Street, Harrison Street, and Main Street from 2nd Street to River Drive. Next, Elaine Folker, Norwood Park Fall Festival, 2200 block of Ripley Street, 12 p.m. to 9 p.m., Saturday, September 14th, 2024. Closure, West Rushholm Street from Ripley Street, east and west to the alley. Ripley Street from West Dover Court to West Lombard Street. Next, Tim Kelly, Unity in the Community, a 5th Ward celebration, 311 East Locust Street, 2 p.m. to 10 p.m., Saturday, September 14th, 2024. Closure, north-south alley between Pershing Avenue and Iowa Street, and East Locust Street and Kirkwood Boulevard from East Locust Street south to 313 East Locust. Next, Jimmy O's Saloon Street Fest, 2734 Telegraph Road, 2 p.m. to 10 p.m., Saturday, September 21, 2024. Closure, South Rolfe Street from Telegraph Road south to the alley. Next, Scott County Family Wide Turkey Trot, 630 East 4th Street, 3 a.m. to 11 a.m., Thursday, November 28, 2024. Closure, 3 a.m. to 11 a.m., 4th Street from River Drive to Main Street, from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m., Main Street from 4th Street to Lombard Street from Harrison Street to Brady Street, westernmost lane on Brady Street from Lombard Street to Central Park Avenue, southernmost lane on Central Park Avenue from Brady Street to Harrison Street, easternmost lane on Harrison Street between Central Park Avenue and Lombard Streets. Is there anyone from the public wishing to comment on any of these items? Anyone from council? Seeing none, that item move on. Item number 3, motion approving noise variance request on the listed dates and times for outdoor events. I'll read each of these before asking for comment. First, Creme Deo Bible Church, Party in the Lot, 20th Anniversary Celebration, 3800 East 53rd Street, 3 p.m. to 8 p.m., Saturday, September 7th, 2024. Outdoor music band over 50 dBA. Next, City of Davenport, Red, White, and Boom, LeClaire Park, 400 Biderbeck Drive, 5:30 p.m. to 10 p.m., Saturday, September 7th, 2024. Outdoor music band and fireworks over 50 dBA. Next, Tim Kelly, Unity in the Community, a 5th Ward Celebration, 311 East Locust Street, 4 p.m. to 9 p.m., Saturday, September 14th, 2024. Outdoor music band over 50 dBA. And last, Jimmy O's Saloon Street Fest, 2734 Telegraph Road, 2 p.m. to 10 p.m., Saturday, September 21, 2024. Outdoor music band over 50 dBA. Is there anyone from public wishing to comment on any of these items? Anyone from council? Seeing none, that'll move on. Item number 4, motion approving beer and liquor license applications. I'll read those under Section A, new license, new owner, temporary permit, temporary outdoor area, location, transfer, et cetera. First, Front Street Brewery, 101 West River Drive, temporary outdoor events Thursdays in September and October. License type Class C liquor on premises. Next, Front Street Brewery, 400 Biderbeck Drive, temporary outdoor event September 7th. License type Class C liquor on premises. Next, the Gatsby Cocktail Lounge, 702 West 3rd Street, new license type Class C liquor on premises. Next, German American Heritage Center and Museum, 119 East 3rd Street, temporary outdoor event, September 21, license type special Class C beer, wine on premises. Next, QC Sushi, 1417 West Locust Street, new license type Class C liquor on premises. Next, Candy's Back Bar, 4751 Progress Drive, new license type Class C liquor on premises. And then last, Zeke's, 100 West 76th Street, new license type Class C liquor on premises. We then have those items under Section B, annual license renewals, which I will not read, but are there for your review. Is there anyone from public wishing to comment on any of these items? Anyone from council? Seeing none, I would ask Alderman Tim Kelly to please set our agenda.
I would like to make a motion that all items be sent to consent.
Second.
Sorry about that.
I jumped into action.
But we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Back to you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Alderman Jobson, Alderman Tim Dunn, and Alderman Tim Kelly. So the next area. All right, the next area is Public Works. Alderman Rick Dunn and Alderman Tim Kelly will discuss. Alderman Rick Dunn, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Item number 1 is the third consideration of an ordinance amending various sections of Chapter 13.34 entitled Stormwater Management of the Municipal Code of Davenport, Iowa, to clearly convey intent and ensure compliance with the recent state legislation regarding regulation of topsoil and stormwater at construction sites. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item?
Hi, Gary Eklund. I would like this to apply to neighbors. I asked last summer, prior to a crime by city staff, I asked the head of the Natural Resources Department to come and look at.
Mr. Eklund, please stick to the topic of topsoil and regulation.
Well, I'm asking that you make this enforceable against private citizens. I had the city staff from the Natural Resources Department out, and they looked at a pile of dirt, debris, and garbage multiple feet tall and multiple feet long, extending into my yard. And they said that if this was a construction site, if this was a city construction site, the people who were doing this garbage piling, dirt, debris, multiple feet tall into my yard, they said they would be legally required to put down straw bales to contain the runoff that's running into my yard and driveway. And they said that after if it was a legally condoned construction project, they would be required to put down straw bales to contain the runoff. And then after the construction project was done, they would be required to dig up and remove all the dirt, debris, and garbage they've dumped. I have multiple tons of dirt, debris, and garbage there. I was going to sue the owners of that property last year, but the city staff destroyed evidence of illegally dumped coal dust.
Mr.
But I'm just saying, well, I'm trying to speak to this, but I'm saying is this should not just be liable for construction companies.
Point of order.
If your next door neighbor dumps dirt in your yard.
This particular item is about regulation the state is forcing us to put into stormwater and management. It's something that we are having to adopt into our city code and to be, into being compliant with the state law.
And
This is all this is. Thank you.
Right, and I'm asking that this apply to everyone, to all of the residents, not just construction companies. This is, if this is a state requirement, this is, the stuff that I'm talking about is running into my yard, but then it's also running into stormwaters. When you have a pile of.
Mr. Eklund?
Order. This
Mr.
is
Eklund?
about construction sites.
I'll sit down, but I'm saying is you have a staff that does not enforce the law equally.
Okay,
Mr.
that's
Eklund,
enough.
that's enough.
Sit down.
Anyone else? Council. Seeing none, this item will move on. Item number 2 is a resolution accepting sanitary sewer and manholes associated with the Russell Fry Armstrong Industrial Park, second edition. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Council. Seeing none, this item will move on. Item number 3 is a resolution awarding a contract for the 2024 alley resurfacing program to Emery Construction Group in the amount of $589,505.65. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Council. Seeing none, this item will move on. Item number 4 is a resolution awarding a contract for the Modern Woodman Park Field renovation project at Bush Sports Turf in the amount of $543,525. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Council. Seeing none, this item will move on. Item number 5 is a resolution awarding a contract for the engine number 2 overhaul at the wastewater pollution control plant to Altorfer Incorporated in the amount of $231,636.23. Is there anyone in the public wishing to address this item? Council. Seeing none, this item will move on. Item number 6 is a resolution awarding a contract for the engineering services for the 53rd Street at Utica Ridge Road intersection improvement project to Shive Hattery in the amount not to exceed $96,850. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Council. Seeing none, this item will move on. And item number 7 is a resolution approving the purchase of grounds maintenance equipment from MTI Distributing in the amount of $128,917.38. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Council. Seeing none, this item will move on. And Alderman Kelly, would you set the agenda for us, please?
I'm good at that. I would like to make a motion to make all 7 items for the consent agenda, please.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. And this concludes Public Works for this evening. Back to you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Alderman Rick Dunn and Alderman Tim Kelly. The final areas to discuss is finance. Alderwoman Lynch will discuss. Alderwoman Lynch, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We have one item on the finance agenda this evening. Second consideration, item number 1, second consideration, ordinance amending various sections of Chapter 6.04 entitled Animals of the Municipal Code of Davenport, Iowa to incorporate recommendations from the Joint Task Force between the Humane Society and Scott County and the City of Davenport, Iowa, and to update language regarding fees and rolls. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Anyone from council? Seeing none, this item will move on. Please notate purchases 10,000 to 50,000 are for information only. Alderman Tim Dunn, will you please set the agenda?
I thought I'd be able to make one tonight. I'd like to make a motion to put item number 1 on finance on the consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. And back to you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderwoman Lynch. Next area, is there any other ordinances, resolutions, motions? There are none for tonight. Any other reports of city officials? There are none. Is there a motion to adjourn? Motion is second. All in favor? Have a happy, humorous weekend. Thank you.